So this is the Samsung Galaxy Tab A11. It's a budget 8-inch tablet that was released in 2025, but somehow this feels like a tablet stuck in 2019. Now, generally speaking, in the 8-inch category and budget level category, here in the Philippines, our access for those kind of tablets are quite limited. It's either you get this, a Samsung tablet, Redmi's 8-inch, TechLife Pad 8-inch, or even Realme's 8-inch tablet, which is quite old. I've made review videos about those other tablets, feel free to check them out, but we'll be focusing this video on this tablet right here, which I think is the most expensive among its peers. Looking at the overall build quality of this tablet, it's definitely the best one amongst its peers. They still went for an aluminum shell, which makes it tough compared to the others, which settled with a plastic shell. However, the design of this is definitely just a reboot of the Tab A9. Hence, I was able to say that this feels like it's still stuck in 2019. Plus, they're the only ones who are still able to get away with using a TFT display, whereas their peers are already using IPS LCDs on their budget tablets. But don't let that fool you, because the TFT display quality on this is actually somehow on par with the IPS LCD in terms of color accuracy and brightness. So Samsung actually did a good job on that end. This also has a 90Hz panel. However, compared to Redmi and TechLife's budget tablet, it's an adaptive 90Hz, so you can't really appreciate the 90Hz panel on this that much. As for the spec sheet, we have the MediaTek G99 inside of this, and two configurations. First is the 464GB, the one I got right now, and unfortunately, it's most likely that in our country, that's the variant that's going to be readily available. The other one is an 8128GB configuration, and if you do have the opportunity, I suggest you do get the 8128, because 4 gigs in 2025 to 2026, crazy. Similar to other budget tablets, do not expect proper gaming on this. I tried loading a really light game on this, and I even had the settings set to low in hopes of getting at least 60 FPS consistency on this. However, in my view, it's at most 40 to 45 FPS, and that's already in low settings for a really light game. While I did expect that this won't do well in gaming, if you're gonna be using this in what it's actually normally used for, which is watching videos, watching streams, or doing just a bit of productivity, then you will get a satisfactory experience on this. However, I do believe that the Samsung UI that's in here is still somewhat too heavy for the processor to carry out smoothly. Speakers on these are nothing to boast about. Most likely, your phone right now sounds better and is louder than this tablet right here. For one, this is the only smart thing I know that comes in with a built-in screen, and you might think that it's obnoxious and loses the purpose of a ring, but it's not really that visible unless you do get the gold or silver version. However, this screen is only usable indoors or during nighttime, because on broad daylight, you won't really get to see the numbers displayed here when you turn on the screen. But cameras on these are as expected. It's not really that good, just sufficient enough to get clear document photos or even have a video call. As for battery, it did lasted me a whole day. Most of the time, I do use this for watching videos or looking at my documents and just doom scrolling from time to time. Samsung's battery optimization is doing a good job in helping this survive the whole day. So who is this tablet for, and is it still worth buying? Well, if you're like me at the moment who just wants a bigger screen to watch their video on or browse their documents, take note, I said browse, not edit. Editing documents on this somehow still feels laggy from time to time, then it's gonna satisfy those needs. However, in terms of value, if you just want a more premium feeling budget tablet, kinda similar to the feeling of an iPad mini, then definitely go for this one. But if you're itching for a bang for buck type of value, then I'd suggest you stick with the Redmi or the TechLife Pad, because the everyday actual performance you're gonna get is still gonna be similar between their peers.